All right, NAI football fans, this is Cory Thorpe back with another edition of the NAIFBALL Live Show powered by AdCraft Custom Apparel and Merch, your custom apparel, merch, and uniform experts since 1974. We've got a fantastic show for you tonight as we go through week 2 and we talk about some of the matchups to come in week 3, which is shaping up to be an absolutely loaded week. Before we get to week 3, though, let's take a look at the week that was, starting off with a fantastic game on Thursday between Kaiser and Weber, in which Kaiser wins 20-18. Jasmine Roden shows out with 266 yards and 3 touchdowns. Weber could not find an answer for Kennedy Foster, who had 8 receptions. On the other end, Sam Wilson was 24 for 34 for a $196, as well as 2 attempts for 12 yards. Breeza Robinson and Caleb Burrows both had 6 receiving yards and 100 of Wilson's 196. Don't overlook the Weber Warriors this year, ladies and gentlemen, as we will see. On Saturday, Kaiser turned right around and played Thomas, and the Thomas Nighthawks take the battle of the Birds of Prey with a 7-0 win. Alexa Wilson throws a touchdown pass and was nearly perfect there. Did have an interception, but Kaiser was not able to capitalize off of it. Jasmine Roden was limited to 162 yards, and 11 of her 22 balls went to Emma Wagenman, who only got 54 yards, so not quite 5 yards per pop there for Wagenman. What really did Kaiser in there, unfortunately, was their special teams. 3 punts for only 52 yards. That is 17.3 yards on average, and that's not terribly good. The folks down at West Palm Beach are going to have to figure out how to flip the field there. Weber would come back on Saturday and defeat St. Thomas 37-14. St. Thomas gets 2 late touchdowns. You see Holly Neer there for St. Thomas. This is basically their third string quarterback after Julian Yulkowski and Jada Graham. Neither Yulkowski nor Graham were able to get anything going, combining for 3 interceptions. Neer was able to come in and at least be passable there for St. Thomas. Just a really, really tough game for the Bobcats. Sam Wilson goes absolutely crazy, 31 of 39, scores 5 touchdowns. Caleb Burrows gets 4 of those touchdowns on 70 yards. Breeza Robinson gets 9 catches there. And then we see the first game for our 2-time defending NAI national champs, Ottawa. They get off to a hot start, 33-6 over Kansas Wesleyan. Madison Carrera was just absolutely fantastic. 19 of 28 for 226 yards and 4 touchdowns, and added 39 yards on the ground. Kansas Wesleyan, under their new head coach, had a very tough time staying on the field, only being 17% on third down conversions. Brianna Hernandez Silva only gets 111 yards and 3 interceptions on a forgettable day for the Yotes, who have got to figure out how they're going to contain Ottawa defensively. Almost 11 yards per play for the Braves. So, as we get going again, let's take a look at our top 4. It has not changed week to week. It has solidified. Ottawa still has 4 first-place votes. Thomas has 1. Kaiser gets a little bit more traction here, and Weber bringing up the rear at number 4. So we will see what the future holds for these 4 teams, as 3 out of the 4 are going to play each other multiple times, and we'll see if anyone will be able to knock off Ottawa. We'll be right back after these messages.
So you want to create and sell custom merch for your team or business. That's exciting, but where do you begin? How much inventory should you order? How do you distribute orders? AdCraft has your answers. Streamline the way you offer custom merch by utilizing our risk-free web store service. We ship directly to each customer, and we have the fastest turnaround in the game. Raise funds for your team or get merch to your employees and patrons. Contact AdCraft today, and let's bring your merch to life.
Absolutely. That's what AdCraft does for you. Now, let's take a look at our players of the week. And it's going to be no surprise here. Over 2 games, Sam Wilson just had an absolute week. 55 of 73 for 443 yards and 6 touchdowns over 2 games. Just a mammoth week for the Weber quarterback. Defensively, we can do no better than Breazer Robinson, who, along with the large amount of catches that she hauled in, had 16 pulls on defense, an interception, and a pass breakup. Like I said, don't count out Weber. They're a really good team this season. So let's take a look at what this week holds. Our games start on Wednesday. We have 1 Wednesday game this week. Florida Memorial looks to get off the schneid as they host Fort Lauderdale at home. That game is going to be at 6:30 p.m. Real fun happens on Thursday as Milligan hosts a 4-team tournament, hosting Midland, Campbellsville, Kansas Wesleyan, and Reinhardt. So 5-team tournament, my bad. And we'll get some great all-day flag football action. Midland versus Milligan, Campbellsville at Kansas Wesleyan, both at 11 a.m. Midland versus Reinhardt, and Milligan versus Kansas Wesleyan at 12:30. Campbellsville at Milligan, and Kansas Wesleyan versus Reinhardt at 2, and Campbellsville versus Reinhardt. The former Mid-South foes lock up at 3:30 p.m. Now, this raises a really good point. There are 2 of these squads, Campbellsville and Reinhardt, that are fielding new teams this year. Now, Milligan, Kansas Wesleyan, Midland have all been in it from the start. So this is their 3rd season. But Reinhardt has been trying to get theirs off the ground for the last couple of years. They are playing as an independent, as is Campbellsville, as Campbellsville typically plays in the Mid-South, Reinhardt out of the Appalachian Athletic. Neither of those conferences sponsor flag football as of right now, so they are running as an independent, as is Milligan, who I also believe runs in the Appalachian Athletic for other sports. Not sure, since they don't have football, I don't know them as readily, but that's going to be a great matchup, really, to see who these teams are. We know who Kansas Wesleyan is. They're a middle-of-the-road midfield team there, second best in the KCAC, but let's see how they stack up against these teams from a little bit further south. On Saturday, we have 3 of our 4 top 4 in action at high noon. Kaiser plays at St. Thomas. The Bobcats see if they can extract a little vengeance here of their loss against Weber. At 1 p.m., Campbellsville, good Lord, can't say Campbellsville, shame on me, plays and hosts Midland. At 1 p.m., I'll be on the call as the Thomas Nighthawks host Florida Memorial there in Thomasville, Georgia. Join us on the Sun Digital Network at 1 p.m. for that game. And then our afternoon cap, not really a nightcap. Number 4, Weber travels across the lake to go play Crooked Lake rival Warner. Short drive for them. So that's a look at the action this week. Like I said, should be a really fantastic week for flag football as we really get some of these teams going here before we see some of them start to cut out on spring break, which will be starting up here real soon for a lot of these squads. So before we go, let's take a look and let's thank our patrons. These are the guys that help us going month to month and help us do what we do here. Without them, we are definitely not able to do what we want to do. So thank you so much to our patrons. Those are going to be DSU Cone, Darren, Bob Boone, Roger Meyer, Jeremy Vauble, Shirley LaBella, Fred Christensen, Alex Garcia, Jerry Quickle, Ace Wellen, Marty Seabolt, Justin Cobb, Nick Ryan, Hayden Farino, Kyle Gregory, Tyler Pierce, Justin Hoffman, Steve Speakman, Brian Shake, Julianne Shager, Nate Sobier, Stephen Cutler, Julie Lout, Tim Burrow, Dale Norton, and Nathan Moore. If you'd like to join them, you can find us on patreon.com/NAIAFBall. If you enjoy what we do, it's only $1 a month. Throw your name in and help us expand our coverage of NAIA football and flag football. It does take a little bit to make sure that we can get the coverage that we want of this sport. So definitely Patreon is the best way to go there. So as we wrap up the NAIAFBall Week 2 Flag Football Live Show, we if you have a comment, drop it in the comments. But we're thankful for you coming and watching tonight, and we'll post the links this week to our flag football games so that y'all can watch the great product that is NAIA flag football. For Coach John Cooper, I am Cory Thorpe, and we will see y'all on the Twitter feed. Good night.